Welcome back to the channel. We're going for a ride and answering some questions and a general discussion and an update on the motorcycle. So welcome, let's hop on board. So welcome to all subscribers and those of you that's come to this channel to get to hear about an owner talking about a rocket, his experiences and so forth. So let's just dive straight into it. First thing, motorcycles got brand spanking new tires on. A Metzeler Cruise Tech. I still need to scrap them in, that's how new they are. Hopefully if we stop somewhere to drink, I'll show a little video of them. I think you can already see the front wheel. The rear looks dissimilar. So talking about tires, tire pressure 2.5 in the front and the rear. It feels quite comfortable initially, time will tell. Also the motorcycle had its service. I serviced mine early. So the first bit of information is service intervals on this motorcycle, 16,000 kilometers. Mine's at 12,000, but I had a service done also, but also had the front brake pads replaced. They were shot. So that's an item that works hard on this motorcycle. So on that, if you buy a motorcycle like this, you've got to understand that you're going to have expenses like maintenance, brake pads, tires and so forth. So keep that in mind. These are expensive motorcycles and I think you can, I don't know, work between 5 and 10% of the value of the motorcycle annually on service to do some of these maintenance activities. So a motorcycle currently 6 gear, but we in rain mode and no issues overtaking. In rain mode this motorcycle only will use a maximum 44% of the throttle, just for interest sake. I'm still extremely happy with this motorcycle. Back to the tires, the rear seems to have a smaller radius on it. It feels like it's turning in a lot easier and more consistently than the Avons it came out on. So Metzeler, made by Pirelli. So they have got lots of knowledge, but only time will tell how these tires will pan out for me. So another question I've had, Jacques, I'm a potential buyer. The previous generation, or the Gen 1 of this rocket, or should I buy the Storm? So this is, I think, quite the easy one to unpack, and I think it's mainly going to be around two things: the price difference between the two, and if you have got a fetish for matte black. And I think, so I'll put in some videos, you can have a look at them. Which I took at Tram Johannesburg So you can clearly see the difference in the styling with a matte black. I personally not very fond of the matte black, but the Storm color scheme they've got with that matte looks really cool. So they are fantastic from a color and a paint perspective. The other thing is, as I said, price. So quickly on price. The price have significantly gone up since I've purchased mine. So for me, I think you can find new old stock, for lack of a better word, 23 models. I think if you talk to your dealership, they can find you a very attractive price to sell at. Especially if you don't like the matte black. I like the chrome and the diamond cut on the rims. That for me is nice and appealing. It fits this motorcycle, but tastes differ. Talking about rims, the Storm's rims are, I think, 1.5 kilos lighter each. So that's gonna make a difference to the unsprung suspension weight of this motorcycle. Obviously it will have a difference. How big? I don't think it's gonna be that massive, but it's just gonna make this motorcycle even quicker. So I use that we cover everything about the motorcycle cost. Yeah, the other thing is obviously the Storm makes a bit more power, but I've looked at the figures, and after I've updated my throttle response and the feeling slightly richer on this motorcycle, I'm quite sure it's exactly the same, if not better. So if you wanted that extra power with a Storm, it can easily be done with the Tune ECU, and you can find a video of me talking about my process around that. If you're in South Africa and you want your own map made, you're welcome to reach out. I'm quite sure we can work something out. I would also prefer the GT because I've got a family, they enjoy motorcycling. The missus maybe not so much, she's always very nervous, but my daughter is very fond of it. So that extra security there is a big thing on this motorcycle, especially if you ride a bit spirited. You know, just for a pillion perspective. What I've also done on this motorcycle, I've covered it previously. I've got the mid-mounts on this motorcycle, and I think it's transformed this motorcycle into R riding style, the Rocket R riding style, and sporty setup. It's also better suited to people that is not very tall, and it just helps with the agility of this motorcycle in totality. I've also raised mine to the max, another 15mm up, because I used to scrape the pegs, so that's made a big difference. So hopefully I think I've covered the answer, you know, new model, old model. So for me it's cost, and if you're particularly looking for a magnificently looking matte black motorcycle, the Storm's definitely the way to go. So we've talked about my maintenance cycle. So every 16,000 kilometers it's got a shaft. You don't need to worry about a chain, keeping it clean, keeping it loose. It's really maintenance free. I'm converted. On a machine like this, drive shaft is definitely the place to go. Yeah, so I think that's a quick update of where we are. I've also turned my mirrors so that the large sides are on the outside, and you would see and just dodge these potholes. This, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches here would typically be on this side. So I've reduced, let me just quickly put on the cruise control here. So, yes, I'm slowing down too much. So it's reduced the width of this motorcycle by, I would say, at least 5 to 6 inches. So you've got that much clearance for lane filtering, which is not very difficult in this motorcycle. Let's see where my hands are and where the outsides of the mirrors are. Hopefully you can. It's right there. So if you trust your hands and give it a little bit of space, you can easily lane filter. So I'm going to quickly switch into a bit more power, because in 6th gear, so hit the mode button, rain, road, sport, negative roll. Is it selected? Select negative throttle. Alright, there we go. Well, immediately a kick in the backside. We're still in 6th gear. So on cruise control and selecting the different throttle responses, modes, rider modes. Once you've selected it, you have to do a negative roll on the throttle to enable it. Same if you've got your cruise control on. Let's put that on. There we go, cruise control's on. If you want to disengage cruise control, you can either hit the clutch, tap any of the brakes, or just do a negative roll on the throttle like this, and it's cut. That for me is the easiest way. So it's just that 2 millimeters forward and it disengages. So the road's slowly gonna turn into a bit more twists and turns, and I need to focus a bit, and I also want to maybe give this tires opportunity to scrub in. And I also want to hear with a mic inside my helmet right in front of my mouth what the ASMR is gonna sound like, or the engine sound. Also, you might have seen, or I'll showcase it just now, keep a hand on my left hand where the clutch is. I'm going to show you how you quick shift this motorcycle without using the clutch. Currently in 4th gear. Look at my foot, grip the throttle, up shift, 5th gear. That was it. You cannot downshift that way, but you can upshift, so if you want to make rapid pace, that's quite easy. Even at low pace, this is 5th gear, low speed. There we go. So, easy as that. Close the throttle, upshift. Close the throttle, upshift. Silky smooth, easy as hell, and you can do it very, very quickly. wide lining just turns very, very easily. Also, it's a lot more predictable in linear. This is quite bumpy. Steady lining, no need to push it. I mean, this is 5th gear roll on. Thus far the feedback from the tires very, very good. Really enjoy it. Feels positive, linear. Feels like there's plenty of grip and grunt. Right, wide into the corner, wide jog. If you keep your radius wide, it is you've got the widest turning circle, which means you can carry the most speed, but also have the most grip available. Hope that makes perfectly sense. Don't hear any whining on the back tires. You would have heard that, I think, with my Avons, and that thing is more about the profile of the tire. If you leaned over, especially this turner, there's a high widening sign coming from the tires. Nothing. The edge grip feels very, very good. This guy's not gonna see me. This closes up. Right slight on the outside. Bumpy, bumpy. Yeah, very good feedback. The other thing, I have had my the recall on the rear brake done. It's still working. I'm using only rear brake here now with some engine braking. Still working wonderfully well. No complaints. Yeah, there's a reason why they call this rocket. And to my original comment, this is a fast bike. It's not a quick bike, it is a fast bike. It's got good stopping power, it's got good agility, and it's got grunt everywhere, so it's very easy to ride if you keep to wide lines and be very gentle on the inputs. This is a very, very fast bike, guys. I think you would have seen some of my videos by now. Yeah, we need to be a bit more clever, jockey. Yeah, there's always some idiot doing something simple. Be patient. So what I want to do is, guys, we're going to stop the video. I'm going to make a U-turn and then we're going to do a little bit of ASMR. So I'm going to relocate the microphone that's in my in my helmet to the exhaust and then record some video. Yeah, very good feedback. Truck standing still on the hill, all good so far.